Hey wonderfuls, how's it going? My name's Miriam and I'm a poet and I'm sitting in an armchair, as you can see, hence the armchair poet. Now, I have several exciting things to be sharing with you in this video. First of all, my poetry workshop is coming up next Monday and there's still a few spots left, so if you want to register, do that now, and the details will be below this video. Secondly, as you might have heard in the intro, there's a track that I'm really excited to share with you. It's actually a musical reinterpretation of one of my poems called River Hope, and it's done by the very talented Jen Bird, and she's given me permission to share it with you, and so I have spliced it with my reading of that poem, and so you can kind of have them side by side and enjoy the way they interface. And I just love what she's done with it. I think it's so beautiful, and she's really captured the spirit of it, so I'm really excited to share that with you. But before I get to that, the third exciting thing that I wanted to tell you about is that I have another zine, and you would have seen this in the intro as well. This zine is ready to go, and it is called The Room. I think you can see those there. There we go. So you may recall I'm doing a series of 4 zines. The first was called The Artist, and this one is The Room, and then there's the next 2, and 3 of the 4 are inspired by the poem My Art is a Room, My Heart is a Room, which was in that first zine. Now, The Room, the focus of this zine is largely sort of the Middle East. So we've got Egypt and Turkey and Egypt and Egypt and Egypt and Jordan. Yeah, okay, it's a lot of Egypt, but there's also Jordan and Turkey. And it's just kind of my reflections on going back to Egypt for the first time in 15 years. It's my reflections on being in Turkey, and it's my reflections on being in Jordan and thinking about history, and it's my reflections about Egyptian food. So good. So I will not share any of these pieces with you today, but I am excited for next week to be sharing one of the poems with you. Oh, I should let you know, sorry, you can purchase these. These are now for sale for $10 per zine, and I still have maybe 8 of the first zine left as well, which is The Artist, which is a whole bunch of poems about what it means to be a creative, to be an artist. So you can get those together for $20 plus postage, and several people are getting these for Christmas presents, so that might be something that you're looking for in your life as well. And I think poetry is a great gift, so I can commend it to you. Anyway, we're going to set these to the side for the moment, and I'm really excited to share with you River Hope and this incredible song that has been built out of it as well. So I will be reading some of my poem, River Hope, and then we'll be cutting to some of the music, and then we'll be cutting back to the poem and back and forth, so they'll sort of be talking to each other. So River Hope starts like this. Hope is a funny concept. It is most certainly a very strange thought, and it's been running haphazardly around my head these last 2 years and more. It has slow dripped and sometimes poured in little silver droplets of water that fall into my bewildered skull from low-hanging clouds of despair and disaster, pooling in unexpected alcoves of my brain and swirling gently, concepts growing slow, mellowing in the back corners of my mind, a strange sound humming low. And this hope runs out my ears in sparkling little silver streams, trickling down my neck and off my fingers, soaking down my knees and puddling around my ankles. It lingers till I wish I'd remembered my gumboots. And then, as gently as it had come, and much to my great sorrow, it soaked quickly far away into the hard soil below. So I grabbed a shovel, and I got digging, determined to discover their aim, those shimmering, shining droplets of hope without which I would never be the same.
Quicksilver in my mind, falling from clouds of disaster and despair. Hope, I can hear it humming low, trickling down my ears, falling through my hands into the ground. So I'll keep digging for hope, down, down, further down. Yeah, I'll keep digging for hope, down, 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 further down. I'm digging down through the dirt of all my years, wiping off the mud from all those bygone tears. River hope, I will find you here below, cascading through my heart, a never vessel flow. So I'll keep digging for hope, down, down, further down, 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 down. Keep digging for hope, down, 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 further down. Keep digging, 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 keep digging. So I'll keep digging for hope, down, down, further down.
And I dug, though the pace was slow, through the layers of dirt and shale, into the earth marrow deep below, through dust and volcanic rock, past sand and fossilized dinosaurs, which grimaced at me as I burrowed ad hoc, my sweat dripping down to join the cause as I chased onwards, always after those glimmering droplets of hope. And as I chased down through the earth's layers, continents were subverted, molten lava layers were passed through, and I can do that, right? Because that's what poems do. And I surpassed where even Jules Verne feared to search in his own much more famous journey to the centre of the earth. And so it was one day, down in the murky deep, where the flippant, dappling sunlight had long forgotten to reach, my shovel, now worn down into a spoon-sized utensil, snapped in half with a shock. And I kept on going with bloodied fingers, scrabbling at the crumbling rock. I burrowed onwards, digging downwards, with just bare hands and muddy face, until suddenly I fell through the dirt and into a cavernous space. The walls in there glinted silver, the ground was damp and sleek, and tiny droplets of shining hope landed on my cheek. And the sound of rushing water arose to meet my ears, and I looked over and saw miles and miles across a glittering river of hope, stronger than all my fears. It lit up the entire cavern, and it flowed far as the eye can see, and deep in the belly of the groaning earth, here was such deep hope. And I spied there an old man, because there's always an old man. How else would we know it's a poem, sitting in serene contemplation of the river of hope below him. And he laughed at me as I looked so surprised and was, for once, bereft of speech. "Are you so shocked," he said, hobbling over, "that hope has such great reach? These rivers run all through the earth's underbelly. They nourish it from deep beneath. They were here since the very beginning, and nothing can limit their reach."
So I'll keep digging for hope, down, down, further down. Yeah, I'll keep digging for hope. Down, 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 further down. So I think I'll just sit here for a while. Thunder of the water rising up to meet my ears. River home, not a thing can dam your flow. Breaking down these mountains built of darkness and of fear. So back up I'll go.
Because when God made the earth, he made it all his own. And although we forget it sometimes, these rivers of hope that run beneath everything are his creation's lifeblood lines. Hope is the knowledge that this is all his, and nothing can dam its flowing. So, go on back up there, with its sorrow and hurt and low-hanging clouds of despair, but remember, those clouds of darkness and fear are the ones that bring hope to you, dear. It is darkness that points us to search for the light. It is drought that makes us seek rain. And every time you fear that death is too great, take time to remember again. Hope is the river that undergirds it all. It reaches from home to the ends of the earth. It is the promise that overrides the fall. It is the certainty that the earth is the Lord's and everything in it, and nothing can overpower his call. And that's the end of the poem from my book, The Weight of Hope. I hope you enjoyed that and enjoyed Jen's incredible musical reinterpretation of it. I'm just still blown away by that. I'm so excited when people take something that I've created and use it to create something themselves. I just find that the most inspiring thing. So if you are feeling musical or painterly or whatever creative expression you have and you want to respond to something I've written, please let me know. I would so love to see it. But I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you know that hope undergirds all of life. And I hope that you remember that you are fully seen and fully known and fully loved. And I'll talk to you next time.